Anything else? And show me some stairs back.
Council meeting for Grand Junction come to order. Approve agenda. Your motion?
I move that we approve the agenda.
Second. Aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve this consent agenda. Second.
Aye. Aye.
New business, vote and approve 50107. Oh, public comments. Gee, I jumped right over that. I must have been scared. Any public comments?
I do.
Okay.
I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Connie Boyd. I am running for school board at Green County School District. So I want to introduce myself to the council and everyone that's here. This is wonderful. I am having a meet and greet here on October 19th, 4:30 to 6:30. So if you want to come in, that'd be great. I'll probably have some goodies. I'd love to see you. I have experience in education as an instructor and administrator, and I think that is to my benefit. So appreciate your support. Any questions from the council? Any advice from the council?
Can you lower our taxes?
You vote her, you vote for her.
No advice, but good luck.
Yeah.
I think it's great that you're running and the school system always is good.
Good, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
I have something to say. You kind of skipped the minutes, schedule claims, fund balance report, and the sheriff's report.
That has to do with the consent.
Yes,
agenda.
that's what a consent agenda is. Rather than going through all that,
Oh, okay.
we call for a vote to approve it. Was there something you wanted to?
No, I just seen that it wasn't talked about.
That's what that, so we don't, unless somebody's got a question, we don't waste so much time going through all.
I have a question. Sorry.
Anybody else?
My question is on the 50107. I don't know to look at these ladies or you or the council. So this is the thing that we're having here, the spectacular thing or whatever it is that we're having here. Are we alcohol approved? Are they still under our insurance? Is my question.
No.
No,
We
okay,
have our own.
okay. That's my question. That's it.
Gary? I'm in the process of writing the 2024 tree grant again, and just wanted to let the council know that would be coming up this spring, and unless anybody has any objections to it.
When you do that, as much trouble as we went through, we tried to plant the trees were right now over a sewer line somewhere. So maybe you get a map, get with somebody else or somebody.
That's what I deemed on the committee.
Okay, anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that, Terry, by the way.
I just wanted, and I don't know if they were gonna say something on behalf of the fire department. Thanks for feeding us last week. We really appreciate that. Everything was really good. Was upset I didn't have all cookies, but next year.
Gotta ask for them.
I just thought you knew.
No, you
So,
didn't.
now you do. But thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. Everything was really good.
Yes, go ahead.
I just want to say thanks to everybody that helped donate or cook food. It really helped me out a lot. Nikki and I try to do this. It's our third year. We really appreciate doing it for our people, and I think they appreciate it. But thanks. So I don't leave anybody out. I won't mention names, but I had a lot of good donations and help. Thanks, everybody.
Ron, anything? Anybody else? Good thing I didn't skip public comments. New business. Vote and approve 50107 Summerfest Committee's alcohol license and insurance policy for this fundraiser.
Beer license has been put through. In fact, Wendy already has the email about it. It was instant. We're just waiting on DRAM. So we're just waiting for the underwriters to finish what they need to do for insurance, and we'll have that all taken care of. And I'm picking up the gaming license on Wednesday.
Okay.
So I'll provide you with proof once we have it.
Okay, that sounds good.
Actually, Wendy will probably know before we do.
Yeah. Oh.
So when she gets that, then we'll vote on it. Is that what you're
It'll
saying?
be too late.
You want to vote on it now?
That's what
Yeah,
the
that's what it
agenda
says.
says.
My suggestion, Jerry, would be that you guys vote on it, on the contingency that the insurance policy and everything else is submitted. So if in fact those items don't come to fruition, then the city council will be bound to the liquor license.
I make a motion that we approve.
Second. Aye.
Aye.
On that contingency.
Along with contingency, aye. Thank you, 50107, Ruth. Yes, thank you.
Discuss and vote on Lions Club and 50107 Summerfest ideas for shelter house at the park.
Well, over the last couple of months, when we were advertising for the pancake breakfast out at the lake on Labor Day, it came to everybody's attention that we were looking at possibly doing a shelter house at the old school site in the future. The Summerfest committee also had the idea of doing the same thing. So we're in the process of kind of joining forces. We'd like to apply for a grant to do a shelter house, looking at something 27, 28 feet wide, about 80 foot long, part of it enclosed, part of it open. Enclosed portion would be suitable to be used as a bus stop for the kids, a place to get out of the weather. The Horizons group has plans for a handicap swing, swing that you can put a wheelchair on and have the whole thing in motion. Pad big enough for that at the end of the shelter house, lights in it. The things we'd be looking at from the community or from the city would be water and power from the light plant. We're hoping that once everything's constructed, that the Park and Rec would be able to help provide some tables, maybe update some of the playground equipment there. Right now, the plan would be for it to go in. There's a sidewalk that went up to the old glass doors. That would be the west entrance to the shelter house. So it'd be reusing that portion and then go east and west from there in on the property.
Kind of setting like it used to be setting up there with the west doors on the west, like the old ones.
Correct, yeah. We also have a line on some of the old items that were part of the school building. I can't remember now off the top of my head whether it's at Grand Junction above the old entrance or public school or whatever. But in that in concrete, we've got that line on that, some of the bricks to be able to put that up. The old flagpole that used to sit right there by that entrance, some of those items would be able to come back and be reused, repurposed at that site.
I talked with Sean DeMoss last night, and he said anything that he kept a lot of stuff for us, and he said that anything that he has, we're welcome to have it and put it back there, so.
And this will be at the old school grounds, just so there's no confusion at the old school grounds, okay?
Yeah, we're getting bids, we have some from Menards, and we were gonna check with some other places, and we need to get some concrete bids too, before we can apply for any grants, but we just want your blessing,
Yeah.
that you're okay with us, doing all the work.
How much money are you looking at for this whole project?
We don't,
Just a ballpark.
so,
35 to 40?
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
probably
that-
gonna- It looks like to me, you're probably gonna have 15,000 alone in cement.
Right.
yeah, or a little more.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on how big of the pad. And we also said we might want to look at a little bit bigger construction, because you know how it is with grants. You apply for this,
Oh,
they
yeah.
only give you this. So we should go for a little bigger.
And we're not looking at
To
no
come
restroom
down.
facility in this.
No. Not at this time. We only need half a block from the rest of the corner of the ball field.
I think it's a great idea, and I'm just gonna offer you the suggestion that you better talk with the light plant about the water. I mean, because obviously, we have nothing to do with that, but I think that it sounds like a great idea. And,
So then like for donations on down the line, will you have like a kitchen area in there with like a stove and refrigerator? Somebody,
This, I mean, it's really like a shelter house, so I mean, this, if you need a kitchen and all that, you should probably rent this place, right?
okay,
So more of just like a shelter. So think of, what they have at Spring Lake. That's really
Gotcha.
what we want to duplicate. Of course, not with the open flame
But
in there. There would be no heat.
okay,
But then the city could rent it out and make a little bit of money off of it.
right.
I think out at Spring Lake, what is it, $25 maybe?
Yeah.
To rent it for a day, I mean, that's
Yeah.
not terrible if you need to have the inside facilities and whatnot,
In the
so.
summer, that'd be a great,
Yeah, it's something, or if your kids are sitting there playing at the park, you can sit there in a shaded area.
Did you ever think of, talking to the school board over there, run it by them and think maybe they could donate that other building, it would save you a lot of cost? It'd be worth a try, wouldn't it?
we talked to them, but I guess I'm not gonna hold my breath on that.
Well, I mean, no, I'm just saying it might be an option, but, I agree with you, probably, it's not worth holding your breath on.
Better
if you could
chances of
get it-
getting new money than taking something and trying to
But if you
refurbish
could
it.
get it, you could add that other money on and make that a super nice one, I mean.
But everything
Great idea.
wise would be volunteer between their group, the Lions Club, and you can talk to the fire department about helping out if we need it as well.
Except for the cement,
Correct.
we're not gonna take that on.
Fine.
We just wanted to let you know what our thought was and basically get an approval to proceed at that site. We're hopeful that we can be starting next spring.
That'd be good.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and vote on the discussion and move ahead with the ideas on the Summerfest, shelter house. Cause they gotta have our approval before they need to go ahead and think about things, just the ideas.
Well, I move that we go ahead and approve the Lions Club and the 40107 Summerfest Committee to go forward with a shelter house at the old school grounds.
With the talking over in the committees and stuff like that.
Right.
Do I have a second?
I'll second. Aye.
Hi.
I'm gonna say aye, but I hope that you keep us in the loop so we know where it's all at and how, we can help, type of thing. But I say aye.
And, bigger, whatever, go bigger, like you say, and then if it is a little bit smaller, that'd be great. Thank you.
Vote and approve to add Taylor McDowell to the fire department as a junior fireman.
Want to say anything, Jason?
I make a motion that we approve Taylor McDowell as a junior fire female.
Second. Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Public hearing on the sale of Brendan property to Kelly Beeman.
Didn't we decide when we were gonna sell that place, whoever we sold it to needed to tell us what their intention was with that property? Or did I dream that?
Have you been by it?
Not recently.
You haven't been by it?
Why?
Looks real good.
Oh, man, it's good. I think, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think he's gonna house some of these equipment down there.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
take it off Main Street.
Mhm.
That'd be nice.
he's already got some down.
That'd be nice.
Just trying to find the time to get it all moved.
But did we say that? Did we say
I
that?
don't think we actually said that. I think it was more or less, we were worried about putting a building or a house or something back on the property.
Okay,
I mean, right? Isn't that what we
Which
decided
I
on?
think he
I have
can do.
no recollection of that part of it. I do recall learning about a house versus, but I don't,
Yeah, there was council discussion at the time about whether or not to put a contingency in there about, single family home having to go up or some other type of structure, but my recollection was the council decided not to put that on there. And we'd have to go back and look at the minutes to be certain, but.
So is the public hearing ended then?
If nobody has it.
So you'd have to have a motion to close the hearing. And purpose, just so everybody's clear in the room, the purpose of the public hearing is by statute, and I'm sure we've discussed this before, is that anytime the city is going to dispense property by sale or gifting or otherwise, it's, the public has to be given an opportunity to be heard. So if there's no comment at this point, then you could entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Any comments? Do I hear a motion closed?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing. Second.
I,
Aye.
aye.
Vote and approve resolution 2023-1009-01 to separate the city jobs of compliance officer and street maintenance person. Now, do we have, does that mean we have to go back, dig through the files, or we made a better one, rescind that or change that?
Can it just be rescinded?
Did we one time vote to combine?
Yeah, we did.
Right, it didn't work out very well.
So, I know that, but what do we do with that? Is this an override?
Yeah.
It'd be vacated upon any other,
That's vacated when we vote this way.
correct.
Well, I think we've discussed this, council discussed this at the workshop, and it just didn't work out, having a compliance officer for 20 hours and the rest of the time, the maintenance person. There isn't 20 hours a week work for the compliance officer.
Well, there's too much other work that he should be doing than 20 hours devoted just to that. With the trees and everything else he's got to do, I just don't see where he has the time to devote 20 hours.
I agree. So let's vote on this and change it. I make a motion that we approve this resolution 2023-100901.
Second.
Aye.
Vote on a date for the city's beggars night.
Terry, did you want to talk on that? Jason, you want to talk on that?
Gonna plan on doing it 28th of October, so. on
Which is Saturday.
Yeah. I say we do it from now on, the last Saturday of October. That way we're same time every year.
I think that's a great idea. That way everybody knows. We don't have to vote on it. The last Saturday of the month, it's, what do you guys call that?
Trunk or treat.
Okay.
Are they doing trunk or treat or like? I mean, is that,
Same thing.
That hasn't been,
it's not really council's decision about trunk or treat, you know what I'm saying? I think
I didn't
a
know
group
that.
of people just decided they would do trunk or treat and did it. And, I mean, I've done it and I've not done it, it is kind of what it is. What time fire department did you say?
5 to 7.
5 to 7, okay.
so was it What my question is like, is it gonna be advertised as, like, I know what we're gonna do, but like, is it gonna be advertised as trunk or treat? Cause before the city had always decided if it was trunk or treat, or is it gonna be both? Beggars, you go door to door, or trunk or treat? If you do both, I mean,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
both. I never,
Halloween night.
I think both.
I would,
okay.
No,
I would do I would do Baker's Night at the 31st. I mean.
but if somebody wants to do trunk or treat,
Well, yeah.
you can park up on Main Street if you'd rather.
Do the actual Baker's Night on Halloween. I mean, that's.
But we do Beggars Night on the 28th, if we do it all on the 28th,
we do it all in one day.
all on one night.
It's always been, they've had trunk or treat and kind of beggars night.
It's all combined as one. We don't do two nights. You guys do two
Don't
nights?
trick or treat anymore.
Really?
It's not question.
That's like candy. There's a shortage, you know.
Do we, okay, council, do we need to designate a trunk or treat, or what do we need to do?
I've heard a lot of comments that they'd like to see people going around town and, I don't know, they like a little better than just trunk or treat.
Well, I guess something for the kids to do. And the old people like hanging out.
So just do trick or treat and they can start at the fire department with your thing or end up there. And if somebody wants to park on Main Street and do it,
Yeah, I would open it up to the
If they
whole
don't
public and have.
Yeah.
Do both, I mean.
yeah, whoever
do
wants
both.
to, yeah, otherwise go to the houses, work. Okay.
I make a motion that we make the October 28th, 5 to 7, beggars night / trunk or treat, our Halloween fun.
And go ahead and just carry it forward, make it the last Saturday of October. From here on is our Halloween.
I say it.
Night.
So are we doing 2 nights or just one?
One night.
Just one night?
So Halloween night, they don't trick or treat at all? It's just a question.
What's that?
Really? So Halloween night, they just don't trick or treat? That's
You
my
might, you might have some people go around, but it's up to them.
I just didn't know. Didn't do that.
Appointment by myself, mayor, for the utility board. This is actually a utility board, it's not just a light plant. I looked it up in the manual, because they do more than just electricity. I've got 2 applicants. And you've read them. They're both pretty good. So I'm gonna let you guys decide which one. So it's not just the light lines, it's called the utility board, and we aren't gonna vote on it, we're gonna, council approval,
But it is for the light plant.
the utility, municipal, whatever. Answer with an A or an
Well, who are we voting for? Which one are you going for?
What?
Which one are you doing?
A. We're gonna do, I'm just explaining the rules here. We're gonna do both of them.
Okay. Now, excuse me, we have one position open, but we're voting on 2 people.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so that I have it clear.
I thought you make the decision.
Yeah, so it's by mayoral appointment, but that's subject to the approval of the council. So
Is he doing that right?
Gerald, we can handle it however you want. I guess I'm just,
You just want me to pick one and do it.
that's essentially your power. And then if the council votes it down, then you could suggest the second person perhaps.
Okay, Angie Jones. I'll call your name, you either go A or nay, you read her thing.
What'd you say?
Hey,
Yay.
nay.
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 3-2. Okay. We'll try. Pat Fagan. She has. People are essentially taking Kate Niece's place, and she was more of the finance and book part of it, and that board, as I understand it. And it sounds like Pat's pretty qualified, you know, they both are.
And this is just until the end of the year, because Kate's term was up the
That's
December. So yeah, this is just for
Be appointed
2-3
again.
months or whatever it is, and we'll be doing this again.
So, you know, the last time we turned one down is because they didn't know enough about electricity. Well, this board is the business end of it. The board hires a manager to take care of the electricity part. It's just like saying you can't be on Park and Rec and take down the pool if you don't know how to swim.
On the
So,
other hand, they don't have anybody down there running it right now, so we gotta take that into consideration too, Jerry. That's
well,
a true
that's the
statement,
board's,
but they
that's the
don't have.
board's problem.
So that's a whole other caveat to it, but
That's the board's problem. Pat Fagan, A or nay, Dennis?
Hey,
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 that's it. That's three.
well, I could say A too.
Oh, yeah, we all should be put down.
I can have a vote.
Yeah,
Sounds like Pat Fagan. Understanding that the first few years where the mayor is, she's up for appointment. And I think she's the only one on the board that is, isn't it?
I would think there'd be two of them, because there's 5 on the board. At least 2, but I don't know.
No,
Dean, how many's up?
because
Just one?
there's 6-year terms and
There's
there's,
this one out,
Okay.
they're staggered.
okay, the next one we have, with all the things that's going on, we voted to hire Kelly Rice to do the risers for the manhole covers. That, and I had him down here a couple times, we went out and looked at them. And of course, Paul is probably the only one that outside of a couple other people who was involved in it with us at all different heights. For them, you know, some of them are 5 inches, some of them are 18 inches. So consequently, the different prices for each manhole. So the size of the manhole doesn't, you can't hardly buy a tube that size. So Kelly Rice said it'd be cheaper to get the sheets of steel and roll them into the correct sizes. Got the length. And I said, how do we know how much it's gonna cost us? And he says, there's no way I'd know until I do 2 or 3. And we'll have to charge them by the inch, however each one tall one is.
So he already has the machinery to make these.
He bought a roller, big roller, to roll flat steel to make this. He was, they come in, I think he said, was it Thursday or Friday? And he says, and I will not know till then, so, then Paula kind of got with us on that, having to do 2 or 3, we'll figure out the price and go from there.
Well, it's gonna be priced by the inch, right?
It's gonna be priced by the inch.
Okay, now are we looking at, 20, 11, and 3, we're looking at 33, or we're looking at more than that?
For manholes,
Right.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at this, we got 3 here, and 11 here, and 20 here, so if we, that's 33.
Well, some
Do
of
they
those,
all need manholes? They all need risers?
Not all of them,
So-
but here's, I think these ones over here, the 14 that open for the smoke, they,
no, you can't count that.
no, you can't, but there's quite a few that don't need to be done.
A lot of them,
But all of these that are here do need to be done. And it looks like it, priced by the inch, it's gonna be fairly expensive. Here's the other thing. How is this charged? Is it charged to the sewer, or is it charged to the road, or is it charged to both? It'd be nice,
Jerry, we should know.
the,
Do you know, Jerry?
no, I do not know for sure.
but I mean,
But it's a sewer project.
okay, if it's a sewer, then if it's just gonna charge it to the sewer, okay, then we need to know that, because that's gonna take a big chunk of money. I'm just estimating off the top of my head, I don't have a clue, but I'd say we're looking at $20,000 to $30,000.
So we've got a problem. We could do this,
Well, if you do it with on the sewer money, you still got that, you borrow that money, but if you're taking it out of the road fund, the road fund really don't have 20, 30, or 30, 40, 20, $30,000 to go.
but there's another problem. Is we don't have enough money, so I brought up, well, we'll just do 2 or 3 at once while we're doing it, then Paula come up, and that's gonna take away, explain it, we, Paula.
No, please.
Know what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is your hair turning red?
Not yet, it's always been red.
But it's
It's
something.
your show to run, Jared.
Right, all I'm trying to see is which fund is gonna come out of, because the road fund, there's not much there to start with. And we gotta come up with the 20 to 30,000 more out of that fund. It just takes less shit, we're gonna, excuse my language, we're gonna be able to get done with the streets.
But there's,
That's all I'm saying.
Well,
with this grant, how's this grant deal come into with this sewer deal we're doing?
I'm not involved, I don't know.
What grant are you talking about, Jerry?
I don't know, is there money anywhere that,
Has anybody written a grant for it?
I don't know.
We didn't get any grant money, we borrowed the money.
We did the loan for the sewer project.
It was $300-some thousand, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But if it's coming out of that fund, if there's enough to cover it, to me, that looks like the fund you'd wanna take it out of.
Here's the deal. We have Kelly Rice working on gonna do what, 2 lifts, let's say 2 risers. He's working on 1, he's working on 2. Is that correct?
It's working on 4.
Okay, he's working on 4. We're going to probably have to pay for 4 of them since he's working on them.
That's right.
We'll know how much he's charging, and then we will not order any more until we figure this out.
That's exactly right.
Is that?
Sure,
And hopefully
that's a good
somebody can
answer.
figure out, just like, hopefully somebody can figure out what account it comes out of, the sewer, the street, or whatever. We can figure out if there's a grant, which I don't know anything about that, but I say we go ahead and hire Kelly Rice to do 4, no more than 4 until further notice. And then at next meeting, we discuss what the
And
price
that's
is.
what I'm trying to get across, but I can't convey things very well.
So I make a motion to hire Kelly Rice to do 4 manhole lifts, manhole covers.
Second.
Aye.
And then he'll know where he's at for charging us. Beth, you're up.
my question was about committees. We have, my understanding was, we have, light board, which is necessarily not a committee. It's, I'm gonna go with, it's a different entity than this, but you guys still oversee them, is that correct? Is that, am I understanding that right? Again, your counsel, I'm on the agenda, please answer.
No, we don't oversee them.
You don't, you guys don't have anything to do with what, again, they pay for, or what we as citizens pay for them, is my question. So council has nothing on that except for you. Your answer, so I appreciate that. So.
As
is
far
that
as
Would you
correct?
like me to answer if I don't know the answer?
No, all you have to say is, I don't know, Beth. That's polite, that's all. I would appreciate that.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep quiet. If I knew the answer, I'd tell you. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep quiet.
That's normally fine unless you have something snarky to say, so I'll accept that. Mickey, thank you, I
I'm so glad.
appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. So we are, you guys don't have any control over what happens down there, is that correct?
I agree with what Vicky says. I don't believe we have anything.
Okay,
They're their own
that's
entity.
just my-
They're their own
that's my question.
entity.
Okay, so, and then the planning and zoning they're under you guys as well. Is that correct? Because they were appointed by the mayor? Okay. So Parks and Rec, under as well, correct? So anything Parks and Rec does is under the,
There's a Park and Rec committee, and they decide what they want to do, if they want to do fundraisers. We have some organizations in town that do fundraisers for the Park and Rec and donate the money.
now, and we all should be, as citizens, we are entitled to all of that information, correct? Because it is part of Grand
Well,
Junction
what
City.
information do you need?
Anything, as Joe Schmo, if I go up and I ask our city clerk, can I get what's going on in Parks and Rec and what money's being spent for what? That's my
Well,
question.
And that's a good question. It's my understanding Parks and Rec committee hasn't met in over a year. So,
I don't think they have.
so for you to come and ask Wendy, if she doesn't know the answer, don't get mad at Wendy because, okay.
I'm not, absolutely not, no, it's just, again, if they're not meeting as part of a citizen of Grand Junction that owns quite a bit of property here, I myself would like to come up and say, hey, Wendy, is something going on? You know, and for you to tell me, sorry, they haven't had a meeting, then I'm gonna say, okay, I appreciate that. So there are no minutes that I need to know about that's not online, that they're not meeting, whether it be the entire group meeting and not just a couple making their own decisions. Because that's where it gets really sticky behind
What
everyone's
exactly,
back.
why don't you explain that to us, Beth? 'Cause
Getting
I'm not
sticky
quite
behind
sure.
somebody's back,
I
Polly,
don't-
you
I don't
should be able to
understand.
explain all of that to all of us.
No, I think that you have an agenda, so
No,
please explain it to the
I'm
rest of us.
explaining it completely to you, my questions. So I was just trying to get some feedback from you, that's all.
So,
Go ahead, explain. When do you need to?
Mandy,
Yes, dear.
you're on the Park and Rec Committee. Have you guys been having secret meetings without us? Because we haven't been having secret meetings. Have you been having secret meetings?
I've not attended a Park and Rec meeting since April of 22.
So nothing is
And you
happening.
didn't have any secret meetings without us?
No.
So nothing is
I've
happening.
never been in a secret meeting. I've never had.
What about Linda? If she was here, I'd ask her, because if they're having secret meetings, then I would like to know about it.
So, but nothing has happened, but my question, again, it is to ask, if I go up and I ask the city clerk, is there anything going on in Parks and Rec? And for her to be able to tell me yes or no.
What do you think is going on, Beth? What do you think
It is
is
All right,
secret
let's
is
move
going on?
It's
Let's
literally
move on.
just,
No, she's got an issue, and obviously, she thinks that we're having secret meetings, and I'm tired of it. What kind of
You're tired of
secret
it.
meetings are we
this is
having?
this is the first time I've been to a meeting in,
It's been pleasant.
I'm sure it has.
Well,
Okay, that's okay, let her have it, it's okay, let her have it, just be someone else's stuff and she'll be fine. But again, and then the library board. My question on the library, so that is under us as well or not?
They have their own board, look
Okay.
at them.
I'm just asking, again, these are simple questions that.
Here's the
my
deal, you're friends
counsel-
with the mayor, okay? And most of these, he could answer at any given
But
time.
this is my council, I live in here, I live in this city, so
I
I'm
get
asking. So
All
I'm
right,
asking.
enough.
I still have one more, Jared, this other, the Board of Adjustments, is it under council as well? That's all.
What do you think, Beth? I'm sure you've looked into it.
Again, this is all, it's public.
We appoint a board of adjustment.
Thank you.
Megan.
Okay, thank you, Jerry, I appreciate that.
Okay, moved into department reports. Well, we finished the sewer smoke test. We haven't got the results yet because I talked to the engineer and I didn't understand on this contract when they said they were gonna jet and smoke. I thought they were gonna jet and clean and smoke.
Jerry, do you remember when they said at the meeting, we was here with them? They said they would go one way, and if they didn't get through, they'd turn around and go the other way if they didn't get through. That was it. That was all that was in the contract.
And
You missed that.
I missed that.
So we're gonna have to hire somebody, right? Okay.
So, I got a little upset, but after it was explained to me, I calmed down. They got some really big root balls in some of them. And I sit there and watch the camera, they could get this, they used this little jetter and went in underneath the root ball, got the camera through there, but the root ball was there, some of them they couldn't get through. So we're gonna have to hire another jetter with a big jetter to cut the root ball. He was gonna check when they the smokers compiled all their information. Everything would be spotted, you know exactly where they were. And I asked him how much it's gonna cost, and he doesn't know yet. Because they haven't got it all compiled to see how many of these root balls we have, and then they're gonna give us a price.
But they themselves cannot do it. They don't have the equipment.
They wasn't hired to do it.
Oh,
They were just hired to go in one way, and if it didn't go that way, they'd come around and go the other way. And if that didn't work, that was it.
okay. So my question to you is, 2 years ago, it seemed to me, you told me, and I may be wrong, that the city took 25% of the manholes and jetted them every year.
Yeah, we never did make it clear through it. We got, Kelly in here, we got, I think through three sections of town, and he instantly just start over again. So there wasn't very many root balls.
Brett,
Yes.
enlighten me with that information.
So I would say, I started with 2020 with the city. That was a brand new thing we had started. And Jerry is right, we did not get through the whole town. I don't know when that fell through, I guess. They were going really well, but no, the whole town was not finished.
How much would you say you got done?
Oh,
Half the town, 3/4?
I know for sure the north part of the tracks was completely done. As for the south part, I really don't remember.
Well, the first place they went was the north side, and they couldn't get through by Moranville.
I'm not saying they got through or not, I'm just
Okay,
saying it was jet. Whether they got through or not,
That's
I
where
do
they got
not.
stopped right there it wouldn't go.
Kelly Beeman never had that big cutter. He's got one now. I think he gets $3,500 just for the cutter. That should do it now. Of course, he's got to put it, whatever he wants to do. The reason we quit on it, of course, in the wintertime, you can't do it, you're just doing these sections. It came up to the point that council decided to have the whole sewer system done, so we quit our program with the DNR. That we had going. That's the reason.
But now we're gonna have pictures of everything, we know where it's at. So that's what we need to go after, the worst spots. If we can only do so much at a time, do the worst spot. You know, if we're having plumbing problems there, do that spot first.
And I do know the road to the dump would be West Main was done, because that's when we finally decided no more Key Rock, because, yeah, there was one.
But Jerry, to cut to the chase, the company that we have is gonna get us a bid on how to get rid of these. We might, and we're gonna see what that is. And so right now, we're at a stalemate, because we don't have any bids on what to do with this. Is essentially it
Yeah,
or no?
we don't know yet. They have to analyze all this film that goes
Right.
to these engineers.
So really, we're at a stalemate until they tell us what to do
They
next.
tell the engineer.
Somebody's gotta tell us what the next step is,
And
and we
then
know we gotta do these, but we gotta get a bid from the company, right?
That's right, and then they'll tell us a price.
Mm-hmm.
You can either turn it down
Right?
or hunt for somebody else to do it.
There's probably not gonna be any money in this 300,000 we took for a loan for this whole project.
Not for this extra stuff.
That's what I'm,
Yeah.
But until we get any further information, there's nothing we're gonna do with anything. I mean, nothing's moving forward until we get this next smoke test results. And
I talked to the engineer a couple of days ago, and he says, you want me to come to the council meeting? And I says, if you don't have any information for us yet, I says, there ain't any sense of you coming. He says, well, I'll get it as quick as I can, and even if we have to have a special meeting or something, you know, figure out something to follow through on this, getting these root balls out. I guess that's, anything else I'm supposed to report? You're just gonna nudge it, maybe.
I know.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Moving right along, council got anything?
I do.
Okay.
And I apologize for repeating, but I did want to thank everybody that helped with the fireman fee. And that includes Fairway, they donated hamburger and buns. Linda and Marty Kaufman donated cheesy potatoes. Laura Lyons donated brownies that we had to leave the leftovers there for the meeting. Steve Hillman, you even got hamburger out of him. And Cherry Kersey, she worked so hard. She made pea salad, macaroni salad, Oreo fluff. She had homegrown tomatoes, hot dogs, homemade pickles, pickleware, miscellaneous. She just does a hell of a good job. But she said, Vicki, I need a little help. So I hope we continue this. I think it's good to show the firemen and EMTs that we really do appreciate them. And I hope this continues in years to come. But thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys.
Thank
Very much.
you guys.
Anybody else on council?
yes, Jerry, I do. It's been brought to my attention that there's been some accusations that are wrong, and I think we're gonna clear the air right now. Brett, would you tell us what you know? And
Yeah, so a couple, I don't know, last week, I got a phone call. There was concern about some possibility of missing funds from the playground equipment that was sold after the trade show. The insurance company came, deemed it no good. Bolin Recreation, I think it's Bolin or Bolin, I can't remember. They came, deemed it no good. Jerry and I got together, as I was a street superintendent at the time. Needed to get rid of it, we just wanted it out of our way. We then decided to sell it to Nick Palmershine, who was an employee at the light plant at the time. Jerry and I, right, wrong, or different, decided on a price. Nick cut that check to the city, and that was it. There was a check cut, Nick brought to the city clerk.
what's the issue then?
Well, the issue was that it was supposedly cash, and the cash was never given to the city.
well, here's a question that I've got, and I ain't one of the ones asking this. Any city property is supposed to go through a bid process.
You are right.
Kenny, the problem, that isn't necessarily the problem right now.
That's a dead horse.
Okay, well, that's the only thing I want to.
The problem is, the phone calls that happen, that go to Brett and didn't go to the appropriate people. The fact that we have people that are doing things and saying things, that shouldn't and never go to the source. Brett, is that all you want to say?
No, so just to, I guess, clarify, verify, however you want to look at it, I called Mick Palmershine, told him, I said, hey, it's been a long time. You did write a check? He goes, yeah. He goes, give me till tonight and I'll get you all the information. So he called me back at like 5 o'clock, gave me the check number, the amount it was written for, the date it cleared his bank, or the date it was written for, excuse me, and the date it cleared his bank.
So you're accused of doing something wrong.
I took it as an accusation, yes.
No, but you took it that you were accused of doing something wrong.
Yes. And not from the mayor.
Who,
He was just I think Jerry was just trying to get information straight.
as opposed to, Dean, please stand up and tell us, or please tell us.
Don't
what we
need to
need.
stand up.
Okay, don't, but please.
I'm
talk to
I'm
us.
gonna tell you something right now, this stuff got to stop. The city of Grand Junction people are tired of you can't slander somebody because you don't like them. Why didn't you call me? I'm the one that was involved, I ran the light plant, you call everybody, I get 3 calls that night that I stole $500 in my pocket, I was given cash. I stole $500, nobody ever called me, nobody asked me, I had 3 people call me, they said they stole it. You can't accuse people without evidence that they stole it. Now, I was raised, if you have a problem with somebody, something like that, you come to the person. You don't go behind their back, you don't backstab and all that stuff. If you don't like me, that's fine. Because you don't like somebody doesn't mean you make stuff up. I've never stolen any money. If people that know me in this town, know my family, know my wife's family, that's been here forever, knows that we don't steal money, don't steal. So yeah, I'm pretty upset with that. This has got to stop. I hear people in town tired. You guys are here, which is great, to make this a better town. You're not here to listen to me talk because a couple of people in this building here don't ask the whole questions. So it's got to stop. You can't slander. You can't do any of that stuff. You know my number. You used to call me at the light plant all the time. You used to call me and ask for favors. You used to call me and ask for questions, which is fine. You could have easily called me.
And when this took, excuse me, I will just say, when this took place, so that everybody understands, this was November of 2020,
Yes.
okay? And there were people on the council on the rest of 2020 and the rest of 2021 that should have dealt with this issue then if there was a question or a problem or whatever. And now it just seems funny to me that Dean is running for mayor and suddenly we're gonna find something that he has stolen back when in 2020. Why wasn't it brought up before?
Because I was trying to get answers from the city clerks that were in beforehand. and
So
I
here's
didn't get
also
them.
what I'm gonna say to you. It's
That's
funny
why
that
I went to the
a
city
deposit slip with Nick Parmesan's name in it, and when it was deposited is in our account. No money has ever not been, this has always been here.
Again, I went
It's
to the
always
city
been here.
clerks and asked,
But
like I was supposed
Why
to
didn't
do.
you do it when your husband was in office?
I
I'm
asked the
saying,
city clerks.
I'm saying this right now,
We're not talking to you.
I'm saying this right now, this needs to stop. This is all could have been changed had any one of you come directly
We
to
tried,
us.
I tried to.
You
get
have
guys.
never once
No.
And you
That
need to
is
stop
not
that
true.
too, Jerry. You need to stop stirring the pot. You need to put a stop to it when you get phone calls. You or the mayor should be leading us.
Jerry, you should have called me right away instead of going around telling everybody, and then numerous people, you never called me? You never called me.
Wendy has been on since last year. Has she ever come to you since November and said, is there a check for this? Has she?
She has, but I have not had a chance to look at anything.
Okay.
I went to Cammy, I went to Kat, I asked.
Before us,
I
can't
did
control
ask, I
can't
literally
control
asked because it was, and it was.
Laura's sitting right here.
Okay,
And
I asked.
Dean was on, driving around, doing whatever he does, up until he retired in,
I went, like I was supposed to. I went to the city clerks.
And when you
It's not
don't get
money,
the answers from the
it's not
person, you
money.
come directly to the source. You come directly to the source. Jerry, you come directly to the
If
source.
that's what you guys want, then that's. what-
You never once asked me, you never once asked me, and you know that. Do not lie.
You never asked me, Jerry, I could have nipped this all in the bud, wouldn't be talking this, and everybody would be gone.
I had Somebody approached me, and I said, I will find out instantly. I'll call Brett and find out. And that's
Then
all.
why didn't you call Dean?
Why didn't you call Dean if
He's the one that
I
said,
said,
oh,
I
story it.
Sold it.
said, I don't believe it. I don't.
Then you still go to Dean, because you think he was being accused. This is gonna stop, it's got to stop. We need to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
Okay, I'm gonna have to jump in here for just a second. This is probably the fourth time now that Jerry's banging the gavel asking for decorum in the city council meeting. There are proper revenues for public records requests. If anybody has interest in finding out any information that's at the disposal of the city council, I would urge them to check chapter 21 and chapter 22 of that Iowa code, okay? If there's no action before the board, which there isn't, or before the council, because this is not an agenda item, I would suggest that the council enforce some decorum here.
I did go through proper channels as I thought, wait a minute, just a minute, Laura, please. I did as I thought, I went through them. Dean, I apologize, I should have gone to you and said, where's that money for the playground equipment? Again, I apologize, it was all me. Jerry didn't have anything to do with anything as far as I'm concerned. I went through the city clerks. Nobody said there were no checks. It was, well, and we'll go back to the third or fourth city clerk back that it said cash. And that was me that said, okay, he got cash. And then it came to me that no, it was not. Nick had said it was a check. Nick is the one that did say it was a check. So again, Wendy didn't have anything. It's not Wendy's fault, it's not anybody's fault. As far as the big accusations of Jerry, I don't know of going, as far as me or anybody else, of going to Jerry and accusing Dean. Did I go to Wendy and say, do you have this, do you have this, do you have this? Yes, I did, 100%. Yes, I did.
Okay, let's move on from this. We'll handle this some other way. Street maintenance compliance officer.
We don't have one. I don't think we have one for it.
Well, anybody's keeping track of what's being done?
I'm doing what I can. I'm getting fuel figures from the fire department.
Okay. Library, any paperwork on
I didn't get any today, no.
that? The fire department, you want to say anything? No?
Check in.
Yeah.
Entertain a moment?
Yeah, I move that we adjourn this meeting.
Wow.
Second.
I think Wendy had something she wanted us to discuss before we adjourn.
Okay.
Sorry, just, we had talked about this, Jason. You guys don't have to come to every meeting. You're not entitled to come to every meeting.
Not required.
Unless you absolutely have
It's not
something to talk
required.
about. You guys don't have to convince it through this.
Yeah, but you certainly are welcome to come. It's just, whatever you want to do.
Are we only doing, capital letters? Or we can do that later? Okay, so are we adjourned?
Did we need to
So,
talk
get a
about
second?
Yes, I second.
Oh, one more thing.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so in your packets, I did the, street maintenance ad. Is there anything that you guys can think of that I need to add so we can like?
Get somebody?
Yeah. Make it pop, do something, I don't know.
Not at this moment, but I'll try and think of something.
Okay. Yeah, because I'll push it as much as I can.
Are we still running ads and where are we running them?
I have not run them again. If
Okay,
you guys want me to run them again, I will. I'll
I'll
push it. Oh, we've gotten two.
do they have experience dealing with heavy equipment? No. So this will be on the job training. Okay, well, Kenny, you and the mayor are in charge of the street person. Can you think of anything else what he needs to do, like the ad or?
No, because there's so many things, it's, people don't realize, some people realize how many different things there is. There's not enough hours in the day for a lot of this stuff. And you get overloaded. We still got trees to deal with, and they're starting to fall, the bark's falling off all over it. It's gonna start hitting stuff. But we don't have anything right now we got winter coming up, we got a lot of stuff.
Well, it's already October. It'd be nice to have somebody by
I need to
November.
know from the fire department when you would like us to get that better blend of fuel. It's coming,
Yeah, it's coming, but
we don't wanna get caught short.
So do you just want me to push it on these
We
roads?
throw some.
Go ahead and run, I would say run an ad until the end of the month.
It's been adjourned, so are we gonna try and hire from within town?
First November.
Not thinking maybe bring up about
Well, if that ain't
Free
really
plan.
qualified, but
Marty's all tried to do our things for
Who
our,
is?
Marty was, and
Marty
got
who?
pushed out, Marty Hoffman was. Did our grades, and he was pushed out, he lives in town. So the more that we can hire within our city is great.
That doesn't always work out.
Well, we should try though.
We did.
Were we done?
yes.
We're done.
So I want to thank Paula
Aye.
for what she's been going through, and the last thing I noticed, the yard looks nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mickey made a motion, Kenny seconded it, aye. Did you say aye?
Sure.
Okay.
Carrie.
Yeah, for that.
So they got that gal, Carrie.
I'm sorry, what,
Okay.
Yeah, she was.
I'll check it over. Yeah, and maybe, I don't know. Okay, yeah, it's fine.
Thank you.
It's good, yeah.
There wasn't any public comment.
I think that's what I thought.
Yeah, this guy's.
That's what I would say. Do I need to know anything on the letter?
Both of you.
Started, because I kind of was the one, I was
Yeah,
get it done, and I just see to it that we can move forward, so what?
I think the council would be,
Hey, Jake.
would have the
How's it
power
going?
to make sure that somebody is moving
Do
on.
we need to like make a vote and like designate or
So if
something?
you're hiring somebody to be a compliance officer, yes.
At some point we will, but you know, we're more worried about the city's street man than we are the.
Okay.